Here comes Peyton Manning, making his entry as a quarterback for the University of Tennessee. Get used to it.
College football is all about offenses. Power I. Wing T.
A wing T offense that basically started in the 1950s.
West Coast.
Walsh in his first year gets a tie for second place in the Pac-8. That's not a bad first year.
Air Raid. Every school has an offense, and every offense has a personality of its own. To find out where schemes started, I traveled to Los Angeles and met with the architect of the fastest offense in football, UCLA's Chip Kelley.
Hey, Coach Kelley! Coach Kelley!
What's up, Eli?
Wow, you really do everything fast. Whew. Hey, I wanted to talk about one of college football's greatest offenses. Got time to chat?
I got a minute.
A football minute or a real minute?
A football minute.
Perfect.
Hurry Up Yost became the head coach at Michigan and proved you could destroy an opponent by outscoring them by a lot.
How revolutionary was that to have a no-huddle, fast-paced offense in 1901?
I think it's amazing.
No coach has taken Yost's philosophies to heart more than Chip Kelley.
They've scored 21 points in the last 2.5 minutes.
The play clock is mere formality because a football minute is a lifetime.
Catch your breath and get your oxygen tank.
You can't overstate the stress that this style of offense puts on a defense.
One of your former players at Oregon said that your offense should really be called a no-breathing offense rather than a no-huddle offense.
I can see that.
Hustle out of huddle. Sprint, go, move, 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 move. Get reps, full speed, let's go.
The conditioning part is obviously a really big factor. So we're going to be in better shape than the teams that we play just because of how we train.
One more tempo.
I've always felt that if you have to condition after practice, then you didn't practice hard enough.
Sure.
You know, so our guys lay it on the line for the amount of time that we're out here. Makes the game a little bit easier for us because what is our normal speed ends up being a really fast speed for somebody else. But our guys are like, hey, that's just kind of what we do all the time.
Had photographs been more readily available in Yost's day, he might have adopted Coach Kelley's signature play calling placards.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. And really the revelation came from is when you go to a fast food joint and you pull up in your car and say, give me a number 2.
Right.
And that's the burger, the fries, and the drink. And then they just ask you, do you want to supersize it or whatever? So could we look at a picture, something in our players' minds that they could associate that with what the play was?
Coach, I went back and found some of your placards from your Oregon days.
Okay.
I'm hoping you can help me understand how to read this.
This is our Smarty package, because we thought Scott was pretty smart. In this one, if we used it, Mucho Gusto was our mid-zone play, and it went direction based on the hash. So our guys would have known where the ball was going. We didn't have to call a right or a left call with it.
Is it only maybe 2 pictures that mean something? And should
Sometimes
it be 3
they all
or 4?
do, but we would tell them, hey, it's just
Which one they're
lower
looking
right
at.
for this week, and we would move them around. It was around Halloween, so that one really didn't mean anything.
Nothing.
So we just threw
So
that
there were
in there.
some dummy
there's
pictures,
a lot of dummies.
lot of decoy.
I'm just going to tell you, it's 95% dummy. We held them up on every play, so you didn't know which ones we were looking at. Do you want to make one?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's go. All right, Coach, one of my favorite plays was in Super Bowl 46. I hit Mario Manningham on a go route.
Deep ball down the left sideline, and it's going to be caught. Was he inbounds? Yes! Manningham on the sideline.
Simply remarkable. For the next 50 years, you'll be watching highlights of that catch.
I want to make a placard for that play.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with the protection was 80 protection. When I think of 80, I think of Jerry Rice. So we need some rice. Got my glue, kind of raided my daughter's knapsack. Bam, 2x2 formation. So who we got?
Clyde Drexler.
Clyde Drexler, number 22.
Yep.
Boom, right underneath. The play was otter. It's like an out and a return, right?
Yep.
So gotta have an otter in there. The cadence was on Daytona. So Daytona, I think, racing, boom.
You're in 2x2 formation, you're in 80 protection, you're running auto, and it's on Daytona. That's the picture's worth 1,000 words.
Can we hold it up?
Let's hold this up. I would take this job. I would be on the sideline.
Yeah, right?
So I would be like that.
There you go. I know where we're going. We're rolling. Hit Mario Manningham on the go route. So, Coach, what kind of grade would I get in my arts and craft class in college here?
Creativity, you would get an A.
A, perfect.
Application, I may go C minus.
C minus, yeah, I accept that. That's kind of the way I roll. It passed.
I never made a sign in my life. I just told some ideas to them, and
they figured it out.
And they figured it out.
Coach, I know you have a need for speed, so I won't slow you down any longer. How about a selfie?
Sure, make it fast.
All right, point a minute on 3. 1, 2, 3. Point a minute. Coach, I really appreciate taking the time. Bye.
Dang, Eli, you're looking good.
Thank you, Coach. You know, my dad always told me, dress for the job you want. And who wouldn't want to be the head ball coach?
Well, your dad is a smart dude. We all knew that.
Well, I got to thank you, Coach. You transformed the SEC from 3 yards in a cloud of dust to 3-play drives.
They call it the fun and gun offense.
So if it weren't for you, Peyton and I might have been running on every down.
Nobody's watched that, would they?
I have a shocking confession to make. Back in the day, I wasn't the most mobile quarterback.
He is not known for his running ability.
But thanks to Steve Spurrier, I didn't have to be.
And going deep, looking for Tank, got it! Touchdown, Rebels!
In the early 90s, Spurrier's fun and gun Florida teams opened up the stodgy SEC.
Steve Spurrier has built one of the most dynamic programs in the country.
Downfield passes were the hallmark of Spurrier's quick strike offense, though his fun and gun wasn't as complex as you might think. Coach, what is the simplest explanation to describe the fun and gun?
I've always said on offense, if there's not too many guys at the line of scrimmage, hey, let's run the ball.
Since 1990, they've run over 2,100 offensive plays, and believe it or not, they have run more running plays than passing plays.
If they're all up here, then we got to throw.
Back to throw, he's looking deep, he throws wide open!
They play way back, throw it in front of them.
Rolling again, wide open, Kelley cuts back to the 15-yard line, sprinting toward the end zone.
If they play tight, throw it over their head.
He's looking to throw, going for a hole, down in the end zone, it's caught!
It's a lot
Now, how simple is that?
Simple.
My offensive philosophy was born at Duke University football, not basketball. I was fortunate to get hired as an offensive coordinator there in 1980. And I said, well, this is the only school that's offering me a job. That's my only chance. Coach Red Wilson, I asked him, what's the playbook? What's your numbering system? He said, we don't have one. You can make it up.
Come here, Ralph Corner tight end for stainless.
I started making up the numbers and the names.
15 past Zeke.
In 1987, Spurrier became Duke's head ball coach and did all he could to make the Cameron Crazies care less about the hardwood and more about the gridiron. They called your offense air ball.
We're the basketball school.
That's usually a bad thing, though. Like, you know, they usually chanted that when, you know, during most of the games I played in because I just shot an air ball. Woody Hayes kind of thought that only 3 things can happen when you threw a football, and 2 of them were bad. Did you ever buy into that philosophy?
I didn't, but a lot of coaches back in those days did. We believed in pitching it down the field.
Duke's offense is like Mike Tyson. They want to take you out with every swing.
Air ball. It was a bad thing for the other team, but when we hit a long pass, the Duke students would chant, air ball, air ball, air ball.
Were you always a visor guy?
I'd worn one on the golf course, so I started wearing them all the time, and not many coaches were wearing them. And I said, well, I'm gonna wear this dang hat till we lose. Well, we didn't lose.
The head ball coach's Gators won the SEC title 5 of his first 7 years in Gainesville.
Yes. They have a lot of confidence in their passing game. I mean, they wouldn't do it if they didn't.
And his fun and gun scheme made Florida an attractive option for all the top quarterback recruits. My brother said when he was getting recruited, it came down to Florida and Tennessee. So you recruit Peyton pretty hard?
Yeah, we did. We wanted Peyton, but Tennessee's probably the best place because we had Danny Warfel there. Well, they'd been the same age. One of them would have had to transfer, but nobody transferred back then. Right? So one of them would not have had a chance to play much.
Worked out pretty well for you, I'd say. I think everybody won in that situation.
Worked out for everybody, yeah.
Peyton ended up doing all right for himself. except when he faced Spurrier in college.
Peyton Manning will finish his career without a victory over Florida.
In 1996, Spurrier became the only Heisman winner to coach another player to the Heisman, when Danny Warfel rode his fun and gun to the award. National championship in 1996, that really changed the perception of that fun and gun offense.
Into the end zone, Hilliard, touchdown.
Winning the national championship was, of course, huge. That's a big thing.
It will be the first national championship for the Florida football team.
You were 2 for 2 in your big games, which is pretty doggone good. I'll take that one that we had in '96.
No one in the 90s can compare.
As a player, you slung it like no Gator before you. As a coach, you got the SEC airborne, but there's one thing that you've flung better than anyone in history.
What's that, Eli?
Your visor.
Oh, look at Spurrier. There goes the visor.
Well, let me tell you, there is an art to it, I have to admit. You got to put a little zip to it.
All right, let me
And
coach me
Put a
up
little air
here.
under it, like the deep pass. Put a little air.
How was that?
Not bad, but a little more up.
How long did it take you to master that?
One game. Well, after that, I learned. When I looked, there was grass stain all over one side.
To help perfect my visor toss, I enlisted the help of some special teaching assistants. I call them Manningkins. We got a ref here with the Tallahassee zip code. He just called a holding on a big touchdown pass. What are you gonna do?
Well, there's not too much to do but say, that was a bunch of crap.
There you go. Yeah. Your star quarterback just threw a pick six.
If you were throwing a visor in the direction of a player,
Coach me up.
You'd try to get a little height on it. Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
It.
That's pretty good.
Maybe just flip it up in the air.
That water boy, he gave you the wrong Gatorade.
Gatorade is special here in Florida, and I'd probably just throw it this way.
Throw it that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it at him. All right, Coach.
Yeah.
Your big brother steals your G.I. Joe, and then he gives it back to you all bent up.
Oh, that'd be a problem.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna
That's
do it.
visor
I'm gonna
toss.
throw it. There you go. Come on.
Especially if it's number
There it is.
16.
16.
Hey. Yeah, that's better.
I'll give you permission to throw it at this guy. I'm gonna get him. Give me your hat. I'm gonna get him.
That's pretty good throwing. I like that.
Do I really look like this?